Did you know that cigarette factories can produce over 20,000 cigarettes every single minute? Even with the well-known health risks of smoking, cigarettes remain a massive global industry. In the United States alone, more than 28.3 million adults still smoke, and about 2.8 million middle and high school students use at least one tobacco product. But how are cigarettes made, and what really happens behind the scenes of one of the largest cigarette factories in the world? Today, we're going to take you on a fascinating journey through the entire cigarette manufacturing process, from planting tobacco seeds to the final product, ready for sale. Stay with us to uncover these secrets. You won't believe what goes into making cigarettes. And before we begin, make sure to subscribe for more exciting explorations like this: the history of cigarettes. Cigarettes may seem like a modern product, but their history stretches back thousands of years. Ancient civilizations, such as the Maya and Aztec, used tobacco leaves in ceremonies and for recreational purposes. It wasn't until the 16th century that tobacco made its way to Europe, quickly becoming a popular commodity. From there, it traveled to the Americas, where its usage exploded. At first, tobacco was believed to have medicinal benefits, used to treat all kinds of ailments. However, as the centuries passed and more research was done, the negative health effects of smoking became clear. Despite this, cigarette production has continued on a massive scale, blending ancient traditions with cutting-edge technology. Planting and growing tobacco. The journey of a cigarette starts in the fertile fields of North Carolina, where the climate is perfect for growing high-quality tobacco. Every spring, workers fill trays with nutrient-rich soil in the nursery areas. Then, automated machines evenly distribute the tiny tobacco seeds across the trays. These seeds are placed in greenhouses where they are carefully monitored and tended to. In just 7 weeks, these seeds grow into small plants, ready for the next phase of their journey. At this point, the young tobacco plants are strong enough to be transplanted into the fields. Specialized machines are used to plant the seedlings in neat rows, making sure they get the daily care and nutrients needed to grow tall and healthy. By the time the plants mature, they can grow as tall as a 5- or 6-year-old child, with broad, thick leaves that will eventually become the key ingredient in cigarettes. Preparing for harvest. Once the plants have grown to their full size, farmers must carefully manage them to ensure the leaves reach top quality. In July, the plants begin to flower. At this stage, the plants are topped, which means farmers use special cutting machines to remove the tops of the plants. This may sound simple, but it's a crucial step in the process. By removing the flowers, all of the plant's nutrients get concentrated into the leaves, making them richer and more flavorful. Farmers also spray growth inhibitors on the plants, slowing down their growth and allowing the leaves to absorb even more nutrients. Harvesting the tobacco. When the tobacco leaves turn a golden yellow color, it's time for the harvest. This color change is a signal that the leaves are full of nutrients and ready to be processed. Timing is absolutely crucial during this phase. If the leaves are harvested too early or too late, the quality could be compromised. Farmers use machines to carefully dig up the plants and load them into bins on trucks. The trucks then transport the freshly harvested plants back to the warehouse, where the next stage of the journey takes place: drying the leaves. Once inside the warehouse, the tobacco leaves undergo a drying process called curing. This step is essential for developing the flavor of the tobacco. Workers spread the leaves out on large racks, and the curing process begins. Depending on the weather conditions, this can take anywhere from 5 to 8 weeks. During this time, wood is burned under the warehouse floor to generate heat, slowly removing moisture from the leaves. This drying process is carefully monitored to ensure that the leaves dry evenly and develop the desired texture and color. Sorting and processing. Once the curing process is complete, the tobacco leaves are transported to a cigarette factory, where they are sorted based on size, type, and quality. Some leaves may be too dry, so they are lightly steamed to make them more flexible and easier to process. Once softened, the leaves are stripped from their stalks, leaving only the valuable tobacco portions. This is a critical part of the manufacturing process, as only the best tobacco makes it into the final product. Blending and cutting. The next stage of the process involves blending different types of tobacco. Each cigarette brand has its own unique blend, and this blend determines the flavor and aroma of the cigarette. The tobacco leaves are mixed together to create this signature blend, and then the mixture is cut into small, fine pieces. This step is incredibly fast-paced, as modern machines take over to ensure that the process moves quickly and efficiently. The high-speed manufacturing process. Modern cigarette factories are highly automated, capable of producing up to 20,000 cigarettes per minute. This incredible speed is made possible by sophisticated machinery. The process begins by forming a tobacco rod. A long line of tobacco is placed on a roll of cigarette paper, which can be up to 7,000 meters long. The paper is then tightly wrapped around the tobacco, forming a continuous rod. This rod is cut into shorter sections to create individual cigarettes. Adding filters and packaging. After the tobacco rod is cut into individual cigarettes, filters are attached to both ends of each cigarette. A special type of paper called tipping paper is wrapped around the filter end to complete the product. At this point, each cigarette undergoes strict quality control checks to ensure that it meets the company's standards for size, shape, and overall quality. Once the cigarettes pass inspection, they are grouped together and wrapped in foil to preserve freshness. The packs are then wrapped in protected film and boxed, ready for distribution. Cigarette factories also take steps to reduce their environmental impact by managing waste and energy use efficiently, ensuring that modern cigarette production is as sustainable as possible. Cigarette production is a fascinating blend of technology, craftsmanship, and tradition. While we've explored how cigarettes are made, it's important to remember the health risks associated with smoking. The complex process may be impressive, but the end product still poses serious dangers to users. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of cigarette production, don't forget to like this video, share it with others, and leave a comment below with your thoughts. And before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more fascinating explorations.